Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and it is time for another retro review. I watched a couple of shows, so I'm going to be posting some videos today on them to sort of catch up. So this is going to be ECW One Night Stand in 2006. This was the second One Night Stand, and this was the one that led to them coming up with the rebirth of ECW, WWECW, some people like to call it, which would ultimately fail. No surprise there. But this pay-per-view was pretty good. Let's take a look. We start off with Taz defeating Jerry the King Lawler in the opening match. Basically what it was the King had been trash talking ECW, and this was a quick match. Taz makes him tap out in a couple of seconds after Joey Styles jumps on his back to cause a distraction. That's all it was. It's better it was this way. This was just to get revenge on the King after all those years of talking trash about ECW. So it was good to see. I won't bother rating this one. It was, good for what it was. It did what it was supposed to do. Kurt Angle defeats Randy Orton. This was a pretty good match, I think. A lot of heat on this one. The crowd made it even better. Such an amazing crowd at this event. I was very angry I didn't get to see this live and in person. Hammerstein Ballroom is always a great place for Ring of Honor shows, any type of wrestling events. Always got one of the hottest crowds. A fun crowd that actually has a sense of humor, and a small crowd so you can interact. Because that's the problem. Even though it's awesome to have these big, huge crowds at WWE main events, wrestling events in general, all these events, they have such huge crowds, it's hard to get any chance started unless they're very generic and, expected. So, the yes chant is very easy. All these things are very easy. Rocky sucks, Rocky, simple things. But the more elaborate chants, they get lost in the sea of all these people. Not the case with this. This was a pretty good match, a good technical match, and you had a lot of great counters in there. 3.5 stars for this one. It's hard to imagine Orton being in an ECW match, but this was pretty damn good. And Kurt Angle really did fit the ECW style, because ECW wasn't always about hardcore. Sometimes it was about, great technical wrestling as well. Then it was the FBI, and they defeated Tajiri and Super Crazy. This was just a, pretty good back and forth little match here. Nothing super eventful or anything, but it was, a good display of wrestling from the smaller guys. I give it 3 stars. Some high spots, some, little submission moves from Little Guido and Tony Mama Luke. I love that name, Mama Luke. Where have I heard that one before? Then at the end, the Big Show comes out and destroys everybody. And everybody was cheering this, which I really didn't understand. Putting the Big Show in ECW was one of the reasons what killed it, which didn't make it feel like ECW. There was nothing hardcore. There was nothing ECW. ECW was about hardcore, new stars, technical wrestling, great matches with no limits. The Big Show doesn't personify any of those traits, so it was kind of confusing. I love that Cobra Clutch fling thing he did, though. He could just put them in a Cobra Clutch and fling their asses across the ring. I don't know why he still doesn't do that move. Then it was Rey Mysterio and Sabu, and they wrestled to a no contest. They stopped the match after Sabu does this fucking crazy springboard DDT through a fucking table. This was a fucking insane fucking match. They were taking a lot of risks here. There were chairs to the faces, chairs up the asses, chairs everywhere, and just, a lot of crazy fucking spots. And the spot at the end was just amazing. I don't think that I could really give this match less than 4 stars. I mean, it was a pretty fucking incredible match. And the finish, Sabu is not always so accurate, but I guess it's because he takes all these risks. I mean, he is sort of the king of the botch in a way. The Sabu, I don't think he's ever wrestled a match like perfectly without any botches. But, it was a pretty fucking good match. I will give it 4 stars because the finish was very, very fucking epic. Then it was Mick Foley, Edge, and Lita defeating Terry Funk, Tommy Dreamer, and Beulah McGillicuddy. And this was just a fucking insane match, even crazier than Sabu in Mysterio. There was fucking hardcore shit all over the fucking place in this one. It was a really fucking amazing match. So, you had a 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire. There was just everything happening in this match. I don't think that they could have pulled out a better hardcore match. This is actually probably one of the best hardcore matches I've ever seen. There was blood, fucking skin tearing. It was incredible. I give this match 5 stars. And I am serious. I have now seen this match 2 times already. And the second time around, I think I liked it even more. Because it's 4 guys. Well, the girls are in there, but they don't really get involved until the end. And they just fucking put their bodies on the line. When people come here on YouTube, such as myself, and talk about putting their bodies on the line, well, this is way more than what I'm talking about. But, to see that there are guys in the business who are willing to sacrifice their bodies for our entertainment, this is what I'm talking about, when I say that you get into the wrestling business because you want to entertain. Well, some people do it for the money and fame, but, whatever. I give it 5 stars and I stand by that rating. It's the epitome of hardcore. And, and like just being passionate. These were 4 passionate wrestlers here doing what they do best. Then you had Balls Mahoney defeating Masato Tanaka. Not exactly a great match to follow up a 5-star classic, with all this amazing hardcore shit. But, it was alright. Balls with a great hard shot on Tanaka with the chair and pins him. Sort of an abrupt ending there. Masato Tanaka, the world champion in ECW, I didn't expect him to get beat this quick. But, I think it was decent enough. 2 stars. Then it was Rob Van Dam defeating John Cena. And again, a very, very hot crowd like it was throughout the whole fucking night. A lot of back and forth in this match. It was a pretty heated match. Maybe one of John Cena's best matches, I think. A pretty good main event, and Van Dam gets the pin on Cena after Edge interferes. Paul Heyman counts to 3, and Rob Van Dam wins the WWE title. And then he would go on to lose it about a month later because he was selling pot. Good job there, Van Dam. Anyway, losing it to the Big Show, no less. Anyway, this pay-per-view right here was pretty fucking fantastic. This was a pay-per-view to remember. I give it a 10 out of 10. And the RVD and Cena gets 4 stars, by the way. This is a pay-per-view where you had so many great matches. It was almost, unbelievable. You wouldn't see this nowadays. This was a fucking just incredible show with great wrestling and just things that you wouldn't see on like during this time. Like during 2006, you weren't getting these quality pay-per-views. But, this was like a pay-per-view where they just let the wrestlers wrestle. What's so horrible about just letting them wrestle? So yeah, I give this a perfect 10. I mean, a 5-star match, 2 4-star matches, and nothing was bad. Yeah, a show where nothing was bad on it. The only thing that was just all right was Mahoney and Tanaka, and that wasn't even that. That it wasn't even like it was a bad match. It was just not as good as the others. If I could say that about the matches nowadays, everything would just be peachy. All right, great pay-per-view. If you haven't seen this show, this is a total recommendation. This is like if you want to see what wrestling is capable of. Watch a show like this. All right.